Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper. Welcome back to another unboxing video. This time I have a collection from Pennsylvania. Now, the gentleman told me that he was in scouting from about 1966 to 1972. We talked through email and he agreed to send me these items on preview, which simply means that so far I have not bought them. He's allowed me to go through and look and see what's there and make him a fair offer. So I haven't actually seen any pictures of this stuff, so you're seeing it for the first time just like I am. So let's cut into these two boxes and find out what he's got. There's a little jingle jangle in there, so I better not dump this box wide out because there might be a mug that'll tumble off the floor and break, and I would always feel bad if someone sent me something and I was the one who broke it. Think about these mugs that survive for all these years and then finally they get busted. I don't want to be the guy who did that. So indeed, that jingle jingle was some mugs, but they have actually survived. Recently I've gotten some mugs in the mail where people have mailed them and they did not survive the journey. These did, however, so that's good. I'll put them down here since we're not too worried about the mugs. All right, but in the bottom of this box we have some cool stuff. Here is a beautiful old cotton Vigil Honor sash. So I can look at this and tell this is really old from his time period. So the fact that he was a Vigil Honor member of the Order of the Arrow tells me this guy was very active. I think this looks like, oh man, check that out. Silver Beaver case. So that is a presentation case with silver beaver. And then here is his Eagle Medal presentation case. Sometimes with collections, I don't always get the Eagle Medals because people tend to look at that and say, well, maybe that's the one thing that I'll keep. But in this case, I did get his Eagle Medal and silver beaver. And then if I look in here, we've got a merit badge sash, which again matches that time period, which would have been late 60s, early 70s. So after 1960, they went to this style where you had the twill background with the embroidered edge, and so that definitely matches that time period. Then he also had some neckerchiefs in here. Let's just kind of take a peek at the neckerchiefs. So I'll just throw some up here that maybe look kind of interesting. West Branch Council. Okay, so I've seen this 3 times already, just in the few minutes I've looked. West Branch Council, which I'm sure does not exist today, possibly could have been the one he was involved with. And then I see Valley Forge here. Here is a conclave neckerchief from that area, and then another one from Camp Kline. So it doesn't take long before you see a pattern here. I'm seeing Camp Kline, Camp Kline, Camp Kline. That may have been him. And then CK with West Branch Council definitely tells me that he would have been in that council, in that camp. And then here's a 1966 staff neckerchief from Camp Kline. And this one is undated, but another staff neckerchief and another staff neckerchief and another staff neckerchief and another staff neckerchief. So now I can start to see why this guy was tapped for the Vigil Honor, because if you had served on camp staff for a bunch of years, you definitely would have been the hard worker that somebody would have probably considered for the Vigil Honor in the Order of the Arrow. Then here's a camp staff with a really cool sword on it. So a lot of camp staff neckerchiefs from Camp Kline. And being that it's from Pennsylvania, and I know there's a lot of Pennsylvania collectors out there, this will be easy to find someone who would appreciate this stuff. All right, we'll put this to the side, and we'll take a peek at what's in the bigger box. So I actually opened up the smaller box first. Now we'll go for the bigger box and see what we find. All right, more neckerchiefs, more mugs. I didn't hear the jingling before, but they're down in here. He actually used his sashes, his Order of the Arrow sashes, to pad the mugs so they wouldn't break. How about that? That actually worked pretty well. It looks like he survived. And then he tucked patches inside of the mug. So let me just kind of show you how he did this here. I guess that was kind of his padding, was to use the patches as kind of like a cushion so that the mugs wouldn't break. And so far he's batting 1,000. I'm not sure. We'll see if any of these are chipped, but you know, I'm not a big mug guy, so I think I'm going to leave these mugs right where they are, and I'll just fish out some of the patches to show you all as part of the unboxing. So, oh, no, I see one mug definitely got destroyed. but you know, it's just, that's one reason why I sort of tell people, yeah, maybe don't send the mugs, because they usually don't travel very well. Mailman's a little rough these days. So if you were guessing neckerchief slides, you can probably guess it's going to be Camp Kline. Here's a nice Keystone Area Council slide. And so we've got some more neckerchiefs here as well. Obviously the Philmont neckerchief everybody's got, and the Shift neckerchief everybody's got. Here's a really cool old Region 2 neckerchief, which this would not have been Region 2, I don't think, but and then here's a nice OA one, and then another one. So Lodge 384, let me pronounce that name, Tiadaghton. That would have been the West Branch Council, so that would have been Camp Kline. Some more camp neckerchiefs here as well. Hidden Valley, Camp Kline, another one from that lodge. Silkscreen one from that lodge. Always like getting lodge neckerchiefs, so check those out. Philmont, I wonder if he had some time in Philmont. 64 Jamboree, I've got a lot of those. 69 Jamboree, and then here's the 69 Jamboree souvenir. I'll put these sashes back in the box as well, and then show you this neckerchief here. So went to a conclave in 72, got the patch and the neckerchief. And then we'll see what kind of patches we've got here. So we already saw a neckerchief that matched that guy, and then here's a conclave patch that we've probably seen. Then this would have been his OA flaps from that lodge. And then the council strips, these are red and white council strips, so that would make sense because the traditional council strips that we're familiar with don't come out until about 1972, 73. And so he doesn't have any of those because that was after his time, so he has the red and white strips, which would have made sense if he had been on camp staff, that he would have probably worn one of those on his uniform. I'm just seeing some event patches. Again, guys, if I see anything really interesting, I'll definitely throw it up there. Well, here's something kind of interesting. I don't know, that is right there. It doesn't have a Boy Scout symbol on them, but whenever you see the word council, you kind of assume that that is a Boy Scout patch, so I'll have to do my homework on that. And then Philmont Training Center, we saw several Philmont patches, and so perhaps he went out to the Philmont Training Center. Again, more Camp Kline stuff, which I will research that. I'm sure it's probably a pretty good following for Camp Kline, and then some more Camp Kline patches, just some more of those. So I, again, have not made an offer on this collection. I will kind of evaluate what he sent me, but based on the fact that I can see he was on camp staff, he was a Eagle Scout, went on to get the Silver Beaver. This guy had a great history in scouting, and so I'm really excited to get these items and kind of recycle them back into scouting. Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper, thanks for watching this video. If you want to find out more about me, go to scoutpatchcollectors.com. There you can find my newsletter, my podcast, and also more videos like this. Thanks very much.